What's up, you guys? Teddy Striker here, and last Saturday, Petr just secured himself a title shot after his massive win over Marcus McGee, and yeah, I think he should definitely be next after Corey Sandhagen, who is gonna fight Merab in October. And Merab, this is gonna be his third fight this year, which is great to see. We always love to see champions staying active, but that could play a factor into how a fight between Petr and Merab might go if Merab obviously beats Corey Sandhagen, which I think he will, because I don't feel like Corey Sandhagen has a style to beat Merab. He definitely has the attributes. He can definitely beat a guy like Merab, but I don't know if he really fights like that. And the way that I think you should beat Merab is you gotta be able to poke at him. You can't let him cross a distance freely, because Merab in all his fights, he's either all the way in or he's out, or he's all the way close to you and he's like grappling you and all that. But like in between, he just like makes his way, he bounces back and forth, and then he explodes into distance, and his opponents don't really punish him for that. And I think you have to occupy that space to beat a guy like Merab. You can't let him get going. You gotta make it harder for him to close that distance. And I think some weapons to do that are over the jab, maybe some front kicks to the body, some oblique kicks to kind of stop him in his tracks, and also you got to be able to counter him. And I think controlling the octagon too, because the thing with Merab is he's gonna grapple you, but if you can take the space away from him, you can and you limit the amount of space that he has. I feel like you'll be able to read his attacks a lot better compared to if he has the whole octagon and he's just able to dictate the space and pressure you against the fence. But if you're able to control that space and limit Merab's space to work with, it's gonna make it a lot harder for him, and his takedowns will be a lot easier to defend, since you'll have all the space in the world to just sprawl and get away from him. But the reason why I think Petr might actually beat Merab is, firstly, he's unlike Sean O'Malley. He actually went out there and he got better after fighting Merab. Like O'Malley, he just had to fight with Merab, he lost, and then right away he wanted to rematch, but that's not how it goes. You need to get in there and fight other top contenders to get better. You're not just going to get better by training in the gym. Sure, that's going to help you out, but you really make those improvements at that level against other high-level fighters. Once you get past them, you're going to walk out those fights a better fighter, and that's what Petr did. He's had 3 fights since then, and 2 of them were 3-round fights, and I think that was good, because Petr is known for starting a little bit slow in the past and not really getting going fast enough. But in those 3-round fights, he's had to start faster. He's had to make those adjustments to his opponents a lot faster, because you lose the first round, your opponent has momentum going into the second, and then you're in a rush to get the second round and then the third round as well. Compared to when you already had the first round secured, you don't have to rush things as much. You don't have to rush your work. You can take the fight and control the pace without rushing, really getting out of your game plan. And yes, those 3 guys that he's fought, it was mainly striking fights, but he has improved his striking by fighting these other dangerous strikers. Now he might actually be the most dangerous striker in the whole division. He might be the best striker in the bantamweight division. Now Merab is improving his striking too, but so did Petr, and now Petr is going to be fighting Merab off a 3-fight win streak compared to a 2-fight win streak. He's been in there with Merab already, and I feel like he has a really good style to take on a guy like Merab. He did get dominated the last time. He was getting outstruck by Merab, out-grappled, and just completely lost the fight. But he has made the improvements. He's gone out there and he's fought other fighters. But the most important reason why I think he could be Merab is because of Merab's activity. We've seen it in the past with guys like Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira, Kamaru Usman. It's great seeing these guys active. It's great for the fans. It's great for the fighters, because they're getting more money. They're getting more opportunity. They're putting their name out there even more. But I feel like there is a cost to being active, and that cost is that you're going to pick up a lot of injuries. You're going to have a lot of wear and tear. And then once you come back, after that, long period of activity, you start to slow down a little bit. And sometimes fighters pick up injuries and they don't really get them treated the right way, and that just overall adds to them really slowing down, not being the same.
When are we gonna see you in the ring, bro?
Me right now, I'm taking my time. Like my last few fights, I had 4 fights in 14 months as a champion in the UFC. That's unheard of. I was the most active champion, not fighter, champion in the league. So life has forced me to take some time off, and I will. But you will see me soon.
It was the same thing with Alex Pereira. I remember he had like a toe injury before he fought Yuri Prochazka in the rematch at UFC 303, and he went through that fight with that injured toe, and he obviously still dominated Yuri Prochazka, but he could have made that toe injury a lot worse by accepting that fight instead of just resting, recovering. And also Pereira, he had like a lot of injuries and a lot of things that weren't going his way. Whenever he was about to fight Khalil Rountree at UFC 307, apparently he was sick. I think he had another injury. I'm not sure what it was, but part of that could have been due to the amount of activity that he had. And also when he fought Magomed Ankalaev, which was his 4th fight in 11 months, he said he had a lot of injuries as well, and he noticeably didn't look the same. Part of that could have been because of how great Ankalaev was, but also that could have been because of how overworked he must have been, or like overtrained, and overall just not really rested well. And then when you look at Merab Dvalishvili, Merab had an injury going into the Umar Nurmagomedov fight. I believe it was like a leg injury. I forgot what he did, but he said on the Ariel Helwani show that he actually lied to the commission, and he like tricked them because the dude who was like doing his medical checkups is a complete clown, and he didn't pay attention at all because Merab, like, he showed him the same leg twice, and that dude somehow didn't notice that he was shown the same leg twice. He didn't pay attention, so Merab still was able to fight despite having a nasty leg injury. But then Merab fought 5 months after that, and he had, I believe he had a toe injury going into that fight, but it didn't really matter because he dominated Sean O'Malley. And also before that first Sean O'Malley fight in September, he had like a cut over one of his eyebrow, and he showed it, and it was like this big thing because Dana White called him out. He called him a fool for that, and like basically embarrassed him on the mic. But Merab has been picking up a lot of injuries, and it makes you wonder, like, has he been recovering well? Like, he's the type of guy that doesn't really care, and he says he'll go train whatever. He even said at one point, like, when he broke his toe, he said, I have nine other toes, so it doesn't matter that one of them is broken. They kind of brush it off, so I don't know. It might come back and bite him later when he fights Petr Yan, if he gets through Sandhagen, especially if he fights Petr Yan relatively quickly after that Sandhagen fight. Overall, Merab is still a bad matchup for Petr Yan, but he has made the improvements, and maybe Merab's activity might actually come and bite him back once he fights Petr Yan. But let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys for watching. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.